Recently, Team Asano has been on a roll when it comes to the HD-2D realm and the Team Asano style games. Games like Bravely Default 2, Octopath Traveler, and Triangle Strategy, which we'll talk about in just a bit, have absolutely sold amazing for their budget and what type of game that they are. But there is one game that you guys have absolutely overwhelmingly feel will be, or what you want, the next HD-2D game on the Nintendo Switch, and that is Chrono Trigger. Now, on the channel, I put up a poll on the community page, and I asked you guys, what's the next HD-2D remake you want to see from Square Enix? Now, the list here that I had for you guys, or at least the options, was Other, list below, Illusion of Gaia, Secret of Mana or Secret of Evermore, Terranigma, and Chrono Trigger. And 77% of you guys said Chrono Trigger. There was over 11,000 votes. So clearly Chrono Trigger is a very popular choice. And I would say if they're not going to do a regular big budget remake, which I don't think they're going to do that, it's clearly not going to happen at this point. I think that the HD 2D area would be the next best type of way to take Chrono Trigger. But if you look at it right now, there are various different ways to play Chrono Trigger if that never happens. You have the Nintendo DS, the Super Nintendo, the PC, PS3 Vita, PS1, emulation, whatever you want to do. And recently there was an update after 4 years of essentially doing nothing on the PC version, Steam version of Chrono Trigger. All of a sudden an update comes out of nowhere, adding some really cool features to the game, which the PC version launched in such a terrible state in the first place. So it was interesting to see that, which made me believe, or other people as well, think that, wait a minute, these are the type of things that you might add into a remaster, a re-release of the game. Why are you doing this now at this point, 4 years later? Well, that leads me to believe that there's definitely more to this story, and maybe what you guys are thinking from the chat here with that 11,000 votes and 77% of you guys saying Chrono Trigger, maybe there is an HD 2D remake in the works for this legendary game. Maybe there's something that we can see from them. I mean, pretty much that's what we could get, right? It'd have to be something like that. Now, also, if you think about it a little bit more next level, they are clearly avoiding Chrono Trigger when it comes to re-releasing it in any type of normal way for Nintendo fans to play right now. So think about it, guys. We have the NSO Plus, NSO regular, Nintendo Switch Online. It's not on any of those, which it would be just on the regular Nintendo Switch Online since Super Nintendo games are offered on there. So Square Enix isn't willing to put it on there because obviously the royalties from that aren't going to be great. The service is $20 a year with Super Nintendo games. So they're not going to put it on there because they know they can make more money on it doing something else. But what is that something else? Well, maybe the Super Nintendo Classic, that might have been a good place to put it. Well, no, they didn't put it on there either. They put Super Mario RPG, they put Secret of Mana, they put Final Fantasy VI, they put some of their best, highest rated, most revered RPGs on there, but they did not put Chrono Trigger. So something tells me that Chrono Trigger will be an HD 2D remake of large scale. This is probably going to be something that they're really going to take their time on, really work on, really flesh out all the content and details and make it to where it's not just going to be a re-release of the game HD 2D-ified, but it's actually going to be a real in-depth remake of the game, or maybe something even a little bit more with some type of expansion or new features like they did with the Nintendo DS with the monster battling. I think that this could be something that is more in depth than people even think could happen at this point. But just for those who don't know what kind of makes Chrono Trigger so great, I mean, even still to this day, you have a superior story to a lot of other games that are out there. You have the gameplay dual text and triple text, which allow you to actually team up with your teammates and learn specific combos to body your enemies. It's actually really cool and it's very in-depth. There's a lot of different combos, and at that time you had just never really seen a game do something like that. You have replay value. I think there's around 14 different endings, and the music is absolutely incredible. The same person who does the Xenoblade soundtrack, Yasunori Mitsuda, he's the one who did this as well. So everything just kind of comes together, and it was in that perfect end of the pixelated type of era with the Super Nintendo on its way out, the N64 coming in. Obviously, we started to see what the PS1 was doing, so it was just the perfect blend of the end of an era for an RPG, and it was just massive in terms of the size of the game and what you could do at the time. So that's why people love this game, and I do feel that that's the reason why, obviously, 77% plus felt that that should be the next one that's coming. But we'll see what actually ends up happening with this. This is something that I've been reporting on for quite some time, but there isn't any actual rumors or anything like that. There's nothing at this point. Square Enix has done everything but Chrono Trigger at this point when it comes down to it. Not everything, but they're doing Live Alive. I mean, obviously they've made new IPs with Octopath and Triangle Strategy. They've done all sorts of stuff. They've remade Secret of Mana. They put on the PC when it comes to Chrono Trigger release. They've done iOS. They've done all sorts of stuff, but actually release it on the modern systems for all of us to play. It's not on PS4. It's not on Xbox One. It's not on Nintendo Switch. It's not on the Wii U. They had it on the Wii Virtual Console, but man, they need to do something. So that's why I think something's brewing, and it's going to be something more substantial than what we would have thought. Maybe at E3 2022. How big of an announcement would that be if Square Enix and Nintendo said, we're teaming up to bring back Chrono Trigger on the Nintendo Switch, HD-2D, new content, visuals all tuned up? I mean, that would be just, man, I think that I would be blown away if that would happen. Oh my gosh, I would beat that game so many times in a row. I'd be addicted to it like I'm addicted to Triangle Strategy now at this point. So what do you guys think about this when it comes to Chrono Trigger potentially coming back in the HD 2D form, maybe at an E3 reveal? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, guys, now moving on to the next topic. We have a release date for the highly anticipated Arc System Works fighter DNF Duel. Yes, sir, it is coming out very soon here. So DNF Duel will launch for the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and PC on June 28th. Publisher Nexon and developers Meeple, Arc System Works, and Aiding has announced. And that is a name that I just love to see come up every now and then, because Aiding actually developed one of my favorite series of all time, and that's the Naruto Clash of Ninja Revolution, Naruto Clash of Ninja series, or Gekito Ninja Taisen in Japan. And man, they just kind of like disappeared from making those Naruto games just because Bandai Namco took over everything. But they're still around, still helping out. And it's funny how wherever that name Aiding pops up, whether it's a fighting game or whatever they're doing with certain mechanics, you find a good quality game there, because they are a great developer. So to see them on the case with Arc System Works, I think DNF Duel is in very good hands, and this should be a great title when it releases. There's also the gameplay trailer that you guys are checking out. The art in this game looks fantastic. Arc System Works, I mean, we just recently got the Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, and they just do great work with these fighting IPs and making it. I would have never thought when they first released, I remember Blaze Blue, when they first released that, I was like, okay, it's a smaller type of game, is this going to catch on? But now they've developed into pretty much every developer wanting their services to make some type of fighting adaptation of their popular IP, or of just something brand new. So I mean, it's great to see that they can always have work, and they can have so much fun working on all these different franchises that they've been able to work on over the past decade or so. It's been incredible to see Arc System Works growth, and I'm very happy for them, and of course for Aiding as well. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing this game played a lot on Twitch. I think that there's going to be a nice competitive community, and I can't wait to see some of the tournaments and what else people come up with when it comes to the combat in this game, and how people stretch the character usage here. So what are your thoughts when it comes to DNF Duel? Do you plan on picking it up on PS4, PS5, or on PC? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving into the final topic here, guys, I did want to get into something that makes me extremely happy, and I just wanted to talk about it again today, and that is Triangle Strategy. Now, I have put over 84 hours into this game as of the time that I'm recording this video, and honestly, this is my favorite strategy RPG of all time. I think by far, the fact that I've already put 80 something hours into it, and it's been less than a month. I literally have brain rot playing this game, because all I think about as soon as I'm done with work is Triangle Strategy. How am I going to beat this game? What am I going to do with this game? How am I going to keep going with this game? The decisions that are going on, absorbing all of the lore, being entranced with the combat in the game, and leveling up and getting my new promotions, and just fighting in the mock battles. There's so many different aspects with the exploration phases and the convictions, and everything there makes this game, to me, just one of the most perfect packages for a strategy RPG out there. I'm thoroughly impressed. And I'm very happy to report that the game has sold around 800,000 units according to Square Enix, with over 200,000 units sold in Japan and Asia. There was a brand new piece of artwork here that you can see, which has Mr. Serenoa, or I should say Lord Serenoa himself, and also Benedict, his trusty stalwart, and then also Decimal, the character that's kind of quirky, but he's right there as well. So this is just a beautiful blend, in my opinion, of fantastic storytelling, really cool, unique art with the HD-2D engine, Unreal Engine 4 and everything, and developers that really put gameplay first more than anything. The game itself, no microtransactions, no loot boxes, no weird huge updates, no crazy stuff. It's the way the games were supposed to be played. It reminds me of the Super Nintendo era, where you go to the store, you pick up a game, you rent the game, whatever you do to get the game, you get it, you put the game, in the system, take the cartridge, put it in there, everything boots up fast, everything loads up fast, everything is sleek, everything's complete. You don't got to worry about anything else of modern gaming, and that's what I love about these HD 2D games, and that's what I love about Triangle Strategy. There's been no really major updates or anything like that. They're not talking about crazy DLC and all that, because there's no need. Everything's already in the package. Everything's there. All of the content, the replay value, new game plus, everything is all there, and you can spend hours upon hours of content in this game and having fun and playing games like they were before. So I'm very happy for this game. I had some people telling me that, hey, the name could stop people from buying it, but it's nearly selling 1 million units in less than a month. It's very close to that, and people are still buying the game. It's still in the top charts when it comes to the eShop, and also when it comes to the Japanese sales as well. And more people will pick up this game as word of mouth spreads, because that's what you're seeing. People are talking about it and saying, man, this game is really good. The story is really good. The writing and the voice acting is really good. Probably the best that we've seen from Team Asano at this point, and I have to agree. So I highly recommend Triangle Strategy. I think it's one of the best games that I've ever played, and currently right now it's actually my game of the year out of all of the games that I've played so far. But we still have a very long way to go, but nothing's really hooked me as much as this game right here. Triangle Strategy is just one of those games, but like I said, it's for my taste. I love tactics games, and I love RPGs that give you like those hard decisions to make that actually make real impact in the game, like Mass Effect. And I haven't played an RPG that's done that, to me at least, since Mass Effect, and I'm not counting like visual novels and stuff like that. So to me, absolutely love this game, think it's fantastic, and it deserves and it earned this 800,000 units, and we should be hearing about 1 million units sometime in the next month or so as well. So what are your thoughts when it comes to Triangle Strategy, when it comes to DNF Duel, Chrono Trigger, potentially coming HD 2D? I mean, I think people are responding well to this. 800,000 units for Triangle Strategy. Imagine how much HD 2D remake of Chrono Trigger would sell on the Switch. What do you guys think about all this? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and we will see you for the next video. Peace.